वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्दा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्दा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्यस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 23, verse number 30. So we read earlier that the wives of the Brahmanas, they came with some food for Krishna and they were received by Krishna very respectfully. Swagatam Vo Mahabhaga. And then he asked them to go back to their places. So these ladies were very heartbroken because they came with such enthusiasm, dropping everything, their family, wife, husband, children, other family members. And now Krishna said that you should return back to your husbands because they are waiting for you to complete the sacrifice, the satra. So they requested him that we will hang around here Even if you don't want to have any relationship with us, you'll still not go back. So they are continuing to speak like that. So behavior in love is not easy to understand, because sometimes there doesn't seem to be any logic behind it. So then when we try to analyze it, appears quite unusual, unacceptable, or improper. So this is a similar situation, but we have to study it more minutely, what is being taught here, because as I have said repeatedly that the purpose of Bhāgavatam is to teach what exactly is bhakti or love. Love for Krishna, love for God, which is not understood. There are so many books on logic and yoga, Sankhya, etc. But how to understand love, this is the only book written by Vyasa. So now you see the next sloka which they speak. Can give the mic to Mallika.
But yesterday you explained that from the love to our body, from the love to our body we can understand the love of the Atma to the Atma, and then the love to Bhagavan. So I was trying to somehow to understand that, and I was thinking, so the love from the Atma to the body is there because the Atma identifies it as its own place where it stays, like that, right? So then I was wondering if I look at my hand, I can understand, okay, it's not myself, right? Then I can see the difference.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think at least I imagine that. I see it. I can see it, so I see the difference. So, but if I go cutting my hand and my elbow and my leg, and if I cut everything, then at some point the body is not there anymore. So I think then there I'm wondering where, because now I'm situated in the body, or it feels like I'm situated in the body, and if I cut off all the body, then where am I then?
You cut off all the body. You cannot cut off all the body,
Yeah.
then you will be not situated in it. You have to keep something so that it can function. It has got certain vital parts, like heart is there, breathing system, lungs. So if you damage that, then you will also get out of it.
Yeah. And when the body is not, then the body is not there anymore. So where is?
Body is not there means with the Atma.
Yes, the Atma is not in the body anymore. So where is the Atma then?
In the subtle body.
Hmm?
Subtle body is there.
In the subtle body.
Because Atma is very subtle.
Yeah.
It's very, very fine. So if it can go out of it, then it hangs in the subtle body, but then it will be given another gross body according to the karma. Because to function you need senses. Although subtle body also has senses, but they cannot function without the physical organs. It's like you have the ability to speak, right? But if your tongue is dysfunctional, then you cannot speak, although you have the capacity to speak, but you cannot express yourself. Or you have the ability to write, but if something goes wrong with your hand, gets paralyzed, then you cannot write. Still you have the ability to write inside, you know this. So like that, senses are there inside along with the Atma in the subtle body, but they need the gross body to manifest at the gross level.
So if we then continue that and we say, yes, but I can also see my thoughts, and in some light, let's say in some good moments, I can understand that I'm not my thoughts, and I don't have my subtle body anymore.
Why? Thoughts are in mind. It's part of subtle body.
Yeah, if the Atma separates from the mind, where
Cannot
is
separate.
it then? Cannot separate.
Unless you become liberated. That you cannot do. You can commit suicide and give up the gross body. You cannot give up the subtle body. That sticks to you because you have the karma. Unless you become absolutely free from karma, you cannot get rid of that. So you are like one unit with it at present. That's why it's so difficult to differentiate yourself from it. Anybody else? Any other question? So is it clear or you have something more?
Yeah, it's clear, and when I am liberated, then I'm just my soul, or I'm just I. So where
It depends if you
am
are,
I
if
then?
you get impersonal liberation. If you get personal liberation, you get another body, spiritual body. Because Atma cannot function without body. See the point which I am trying to teach many times. Now this debate going on. So Atma has only some potential in it. Just like wood has potential fire in it. But you can hold it in your hand. Will it burn you? You sleep on the cot and in the cold you feel cold, although there is fire in the wood. It doesn't heat you, right? In fact, in the winter you touch it, it feels cold. But it has got fire inside. But it's only in the potential form. It's not manifest. So like that, Atma has got certain potential, but it cannot manifest without body. It's like to manifest the fire, you need some external fire to kindle it. Otherwise it remains only in the potential form. So like that, we have potential, the Atma, but you need body. So that's why impersonal liberation devotees don't want, because then you cannot do anything. You cannot act materially or spiritually. You just practically become nobody. Because without body you are nobody. Isn't it? It's only with body you are somebody. If you don't have a body, you're nobody. So that's why it's better to have a body even if it is material, because you're somebody. If you get impersonal mukti, then you cannot do anything.
Because then I'm just the Atma, just the consciousness.
Yeah. So then that means your potential now basically remains immaterialized or unutilized, basically useless, doesn't do anything. So Atma has got a lot of potential. Sacha anantyaya kalpate. Keshagra satbhagasya sapdha kalpitasya cha bhago jiva savigya. Sacha anantyaya. It has got unlimited potential. But for that to manifest, you can see also materially some people do so many things in one lifespan. They are remembered for thousands of years. It's potential. and that can manifest. Okay?
Yeah, can I maybe, I know we did it in Sandarbhas, that when the dissolution is going on and then the
There is what?
when the dissolution is there, then when everything goes back to, not so sure
Prakriti.
in this Prakriti, then the Atma goes then with the subtle body there, because I remember we were
Causal
speaking about
body.
the causal body. Oh, yeah.
Because subtle elements also get dissolved. Subtle body remains for the whole creation period. Gross body remains only for the one lifespan. And subtle body remains for the lifespan of the universe, which is the universal body. You have individual body and then the universal body. So your gross body is only for one lifespan, but subtle body is for the lifespan of the universe. Okay.
Babaji, there is some relationship between the cosmic intelligence and the subtle body in terms of being the same thing.
Okay, let's not deviate from the topic. This is now we are all getting into Sankhya. This is you should ask this.
Okay.
And some other subject comes. Sagrinanti no napataya pitarau sutava न भ्रातृबन्धु सुहृदय कुतैव चान्ये तस्माद् भवत् प्रपदयो पतितामात्मनाम्नो नान्या भवेद् गतिरनिन्दं तद्विदेहि. So they said in the previous sloka that Mavam Gaditum, Mavam Bhavan Gaditum Nishansam, that please do not speak such harsh words. And now they are giving some logic why they cannot go back. It says, if we go back, then our husbands, parents, children, brothers, relatives, friends, no one will accept us. Our husbands, parents, children will not accept, then what to speak of others? Because they are the blood relations, intimate relations. Then others, na bhratri surda kutachanne, what to speak of others? Means no one is going to accept us now if we go back. Why is that? Because we did not listen to them. They come from noble families, and it is not allowed that a girl or a wife of a noble family goes and meets some other man randomly like that. It's not a custom. So now you have done that, they have done it, even when they were forbidden to do it and they are stopped, so they did not care, they came running. Now when they go back, they will say, why are you coming back now? Don't bring this infamy to our family. You have behaved in a very impious manner, so now don't come here, they will say. So they are saying that how can we go back now? So we are like Trishanku. This Trishanku who wanted to go to heaven, and Vasishtha refused to do a yajna for him. So he went to Vishwamitra, and Vishwamitra said, don't worry, I will send you to heaven by my power. So by his tapasya, he said, okay, you go to heaven. He was going up into the heaven. When he came near to heaven, Indra kicked him back. He says, you cannot come back like this. He never did any yajna, nothing. Just like that you are coming. Where is the visa? So if you go to airline, they check your visa. But if you have your private jet, you can take it. But then you enter into the airspace of another country, they will stop you. They will shoot you down. So he kicked him. So he fell from there. He's coming down. Says, so then Vishwamitra stopped him in between because it was a disgrace to Vishwamitra. So he is hanging in between. He is neither on earth nor in heaven. He is called limbo. right? So he is in limbo now. There is a river in Bihar, forget the name. If you touch the water of that river, you go to hell. Just like if you touch the water of Yamuna, you are liberated, or Ganga. So that river, what is it called? That river is considered as most impure river in India. The reason is that Trishanku is hanging upside down and his saliva is falling into the river. So therefore they are saying that now we left our home and we come to you and you are rejecting us. So how is this? We have heard that if someone takes shelter of you, then you never leave them, right? So vratam mama, this is my vrata. Prapanno asmi. Sakridapi eva prapanno asmi iti. If somebody says even once I surrender to you, then abhim dadamitam. I give him abhay, this is my vrata and we have come to you. So tasmad bhavat prapadayo patitam patitam atmanamno nanya bhaved gatir arindama tadvidehi. Therefore we who have fallen at the front of your feet, pada means feet, prapada means the front part, like the toes of the feet. So we have fallen there and we have no other destination. Tasmad bhavat prapadayo patitam patita atmanamno, and we belong to you, so you are only our shelter. O Arindama, you are the destroyer of the enemies, so please don't send us away. Give us your shelter. So there is a very subtle point here, extremely subtle point of love. This is called minute analysis of love. It's important to know this. So we studied in the previous chapter, and in the previous chapter these gopis, they were performing Katyayani Vrata, if you remember. He stole their dress and everything, right? And then he asked them to come out and all this. So these gopis, they did everything what he asked them to do, right? And they were not upset over him. Dridham pralabdha trapyacha hapita prastopita kridan vachyakarita vastrani chaiva pritani athapyamu nabhyasuyan priya sangha nirvrita. That they were tricked, they were cheated, they were treated like a doll and all this. But they did not find any fault in Krishna. They were saying, we will do whatever you say. Right? They said, dasya karvama tavaditam. Whatever you say, we will do. So you said, come out, put your hand on your head, all that, pay obeisance. They did that. So that is one state. And then the third state will be the gopis, which will come chapter 29. And this is the middle stage. So what they are saying, you have to listen that very carefully. They are using the word tasmat. Tasmat means therefore. It says, therefore, we are at your feet. What is before therefore? That if we go back, our family members will not accept us. That means if they accept us, then we go. You see the subtle point? Although if you read it, it looks how surrendered they are, right? Because they are saying we have no other go, we have no other destination, we are at your feet, patita, atmanam, we are completely fallen, we absolutely belong to you only, right? This is what they are saying. And where else can we go? And they are Navam Vibho Arhati, you are Vibhu, you are all pervading, you know everything. But this is the condition. So this is the most fine psychology. Those who want to study psychology, this is what is being taught here. There is no finer psychology than this anyway. So why are they saying it? Grinanti no na pataya pitro sutavana bhratri bandhu shruyada kutaye vachani. The gopis later on in 29th chapter they will say, what is this statement? Bhratri sutta arti daikim. He says, what do we have to do anything from husband, children, this, who are only artida, only troublemakers. They are calling them as troublemakers. Only giving trouble. He says, no question of going anywhere. They did not go. Krishna also told them to go. And here he only spoke 2-3 slokas, I think 3. There he speaks 7-8 slokas. He actually gives a bigger lecture, right? Which they later on say that let this lecture apply to you only, right? Patisutta, patya patya suridamana vritti ranga, right? That he said we should do service to our husband, children, this, that, let this apply to you only. So they were told, they did not budge. They are being told, they will go. Of course, both are great devotees. It's not, we should not think that these are not devotees and we are something better. Sometimes people start thinking like that we are following Raganuga Bhakti, we are better. Don't think like that. Because they are very high class devotees. But this is to make us understand the greatness of the gopis. The greatness of gopis is being taught by comparing them with everyone else. They will also be compared with the queens of Dwarka. They are being compared here with the wives of the Brahmanas. And if you can understand that, there is no need to compare with anyone else. All others are even outside Vrindavan, Mathura and Dwarka, Pandava, etc. So therefore they are saying, Grinanti no na pataya pitrau sutava na bhratri bandhu shruhidaya kutaya vachanya. That they will not accept us. And therefore, how can we go? So this therefore implies that if this was, so therefore Krishna, what Krishna will say, don't worry, they will accept you. And they go. Because he will say that. He says, don't worry, I am God. He will say this, I am God. I can change their mind. You go. You will have no problem. So they go on. So this is the point to be understood here. So then you will know what it means to be a devotee. So commentary, Kincha Tvan nagarastha malika tambula tambulikadi vanita jan mukhad आकर्णित त्वद रूप गुण माधुर्या यदवधि वयम वयसंधि मारभ्य एव अभूम तद्दिनत एव त्वयि भाववतीर गृह कर्मणि अपि उदासीन. So they are saying that, look, we are from Mathura. So Tvan nagarastha. And we used to hear about you from some ladies who came from your place, Nagarastha. Who were they? Malikas. Sometimes from the villages people come to the city to sell things. They bring fruits, vegetables, garlands, things like here in Vrindavan. Every day morning if you go to the vegetable market, Then fresh vegetables comes from the nearby villages. Farmers, they bring and sell it here. That's how we get our fresh vegetable all the time. And tambulika, those who sell tambula or some other things. So there are also people who are traveling and selling in Brajan, they are selling there. So they are like messengers. So Krishna's talk was everywhere because he was always doing all these wonderful activities and most beautiful. Everybody is talking about him. So the ladies in Mathura, the girls in Mathura, they also heard it. So he says, Vanitajan Mukhad Akarnita. We heard it from the ladies, especially ladies selling, and ladies will talk about him more than men because he is a young, beautiful boy. Although he is not so young, he is only 5-6 years old, but still good enough to talk. So Akarni Tattvad Guna Rupa Gun Madhurya. So we heard about your beauty, your wonderful character, your sweetness, how you deal with people. And Yavad Avdhi Vayava Sandhi Marabhya, we heard it right from our youth. And from that time itself, we are in love with you. Although we have never seen you, but just by hearing you, we fell in love with you. So Preeti, Naam Matra Janita. Just by hearing your name, your character, we fell in love with you. And therefore we were not even very enthusiastic to do our homework, Griha Karma. Just like these days, you go to school, the children get homework, right? And they are not very interested, they want to watch video. So like that, they are not going to school, but they also have their duties at house. But they will sit together, they will talk about Krishna and neglect their duties. Then the parents are coming, what, you are still sitting here, go sweep the ground, or you have to give food to the cows or whatever. So Udasina Asman Vyabhicharinīva Drishtva Sandihana Patyadyo Naya Prayo Vivaranti Ityahu Granti. And now our husband, etc., they will think that we are unchaste. They will doubt that we have left and we have come here, we must have relationship with you. So they will think that we are no more chaste ladies and they will not accept us. And in the olden traditions, chastity was very important thing. In Europe they used to even have chastity belt, right? That was an invention. So Sutaha Sapatni Putra Anya Prativeshyadaya Tatascha Ati Vaigrena Rudatya Padagre Murdhana. Then the word Suta, did they have their own children? They know. He says that they did not have any children. Children here belong to their co-wives. And the word Anya, others, refers to neighbors. He says everybody will talk. Like something happens, especially in India, in villages, and the news spreads. In the West, people are more aloof. You don't know what is happening in the next door house. But here something happens here and everybody talks. So that's Indian style. So the neighbors will talk also. Tatascha ati vayagrena, therefore being very disturbed, they are crying. Rudati padagre murdhana pranamte. They are falling at Krishna's feet, touching the ground with their head. And sagadgada mahu tasmaditi. And then they speak the second half of the verse. Asmaka manya gatir yatha na bhavet tatha videhi. So he says that please do something so that we don't have to go. That's the meaning. Hey Arindama, why we say so? Because you are Arindama. So Ari means enemy. So here it means obstacles. Tvat prapti pratibandhaki bhuta duritadaya eva arayas tan tvameva kripaya damaya. So there are some obstacles in attaining you, and that's why these problems are there. So those are our enemies. We don't have any other enemies. Only enemies, what is an obstacle to my spiritual path, my bhakti, my progress. That is an enemy. Whether that enemy is my own habit, my own mind, my friends, so-called friends, relatives, anyone, anybody who is an obstacle to my spiritual life is my enemy. If I am serious about spiritual life, right? Because who is an enemy? Enemy is one who causes you trouble, right? So what is the biggest trouble for a spiritualist? If you cannot reach his goal. So anything which puts a blockage to your journey, to your path, like speed breaker, so that's an enemy. So therefore he says that, but you are the destroyer of the enemies, so you can do anything. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. So they basically only said these two verses, unlike gopis who speaks like 10 slokas and more, because they didn't want to go. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. So he says, okay, then its problem is solved. If that's the obstacle, I remove it. So he says, Patayo na bhisveran pitri bhratri sutadaya lokascha vo mayo peta deva api anumanvate. He says, no problem. He says, your husbands, your parents, your brothers, your children and other people, nobody will find fault in you. No one. I guarantee this to you. He says, you have not had anything to do with me, you only came and brought me food. Even if you have lived with me, they will not find fault with you because I am such a person. And look, Deva api anumanvate, that even the Devas, they are praman, they are approving my words. Because they are Brahmanas, so they believe in the Devas, they are doing yajna. So Devas appeared and they said, yes, what he is saying is right, don't worry. So Deva api anumanvate. So this was good enough for them. Now what they will say? So therefore never put a condition like this, that if this happens, then this happens. No, I am surrendered means surrendered. Not because of this condition, not because of that condition. So those are excuses. So mai premvatyo yuyam mat sukh para eva ato mad anabhipretam cheshtitam narhat. So Krishna is also very smart. He says that, look, you love me, and loving means you want to do what is pleasing to me. If you love somebody, you want to please that person, right? If you hate somebody, you want that person to suffer. If you love somebody, you want that person to be happy. So you want to be happy, you want me to be happy. So therefore you should do what I am asking you to do. Then I will be happy. If you don't follow what I tell you, then I will not be happy. So eva ato madanabhi pretam chestitam narhata. Therefore, it is not proper for you to do something which is not my wish. Swahatam makridvam. And therefore, don't be obstinate. Just listen to me. Grihan gacchata. Go back to your home. Ityukte. So Krishna says like this, then they are saying like this. Bho abhigya siromani asuryam pashya kulvatyo vayam vachan ullanghanat yans trinikritya purad bahirbhuya etavad dure sthitasya lampatattvena vraje khyatasya bhavata samipam agacchama sma. पुनस्तत्रैव गच्छन्ति अस्मांस्ते पत्यादे पुरेषु प्रवेष्टुमपि आददान कोपादेव वधिष्यन्त्येव इति janami tatraha patit. He says that, oh, the chief of all scholars, Krishna is very knowledgeable person of India. You should know that we are called Asuryam Pasya. Asuryam Pasya means that even sun cannot see us. We remain so chaste that there is no question of some other person looking at us. So we are Asuryam Pasya. Asuryam Pasya Rajdara, like the queens in the olden time. They used to be like that. Common people could not see them unless they came out in a procession or something. But otherwise there was no possibility. So we are called Asuryam Pasya. So we Kulavatya, we belong to very noble families. And now what we have done is just the opposite of that. Vayam vachana ullanghanat yam stranikritya. So we disregarded the words of our family member and disobeyed them. And we have come out of the city. We don't go out like that. So Purad Bahir Bhuya Etavad Dura, and we have come so far away from our own homes. And where have we come? We have come to you who are known to be very libidinous fellow, licentious. You are famous everywhere that this is your character. And we have reached you. So what is our reputation now? Can you understand? So Vraja Khyatasya Bhavta Smipam Agacchamasme. We came to you. And now you are saying go back. Puna tatreva gachanti. Asmanste patyadi pureshu. So the first of all our husband etc. will not allow us even to enter the city of Mathura. And if they even see us, they will kill us simply by their anger. Because they are Brahmanas, they are very powerful. They will burn us by anger, like this Shamik Rishi. So vadishyanti eva iti janime. We know this very well. And that's why they speak this sloka. So then Krishna says, okay, I know this very well. So then he says, Vo yusmabhyam nabhya swiram. Dos drishtim api nai kuryu. So he says, don't worry. So asuya means to find fault. Even in those people who do not have any fault, flawless person to find fault, it's called asuya. So he says, no, you are flawless, they will not find any fault in you. Kimiti anishtam sankadve. And what to speak of killing you or doing any physical harm to you, that is impossible. Even by speech they will not criticize you. They will rather respect you, they will welcome you more than I have welcomed you. So I assure you this. Kimuta pitrade anye cha loka kidrishir maya sahupeta sangatapi kimut samprati asangata. So what to speak of others, even your own husbands, because husbands are most concerned about your behavior than brothers and parents, because you live with husband, not with the parents after marriage. So even your husbands will not find fault in you. There is no question of anyone else. And even if you would have lived with me or had physical association with me, they would not find fault with you. What to speak that you just brought some food here. Why is this? Aham Ishvara iti tairapi gyatattvat. Because they know that I am God. And I don't do anything wrong. I don't do some religious things. I am the protector of Dharma. How can I do something adharmic? I come to protect Dharma. Yato devapi yajna karmani tai pratakshi krita atra arthe prishta bhavati rinu anmanvate anusanste. He says, your husbands, they are doing this yajna. Yajna is being done to please the devas. So if devas will become manifest there, and these brahmanas will ask the devas that what about our wives? They will say, no, they are chaste, and don't find fault with them. They will say the same thing which I am saying. They will approve my words. So you have no fear. Anusamsyate. So there they will also praise. Mam sarveshwaram vidusham devanam api atra arthe anumatireva natu ananumati. So because I am Sarveshwara, I am the Supreme Lord, therefore the Brahmanas, Devas, scholars, they will all accept what I have said and not find anything wrong with it. Na pritaye anuragaya hiyanga sango nrinamiha tanmanomayi yunjana achiran mama vapshatha. Now he is speaking some principle of love, which is also important to understand. So he says that na pritaye anuragaya hiyanga sango nrinamiha. So he says that it is not that only physical association is the cause of love. He says it is not. In fact, if you physically associate too much with somebody, then your love diminishes. So therefore he says, na pritaye anuragaya. Anga sanga means physical association. So in Nrinamiha, he says in the human beings it is seen that if they are separate, there is love. They come very close together, then there is problem. This is seen here. So tanmano mai yunjana achiran mam avapsat. Therefore, you should just fix your mind on me. So because love is not through physical union, love is in the mind. Physical union people also have without any love. Right? They have prostitutes, this, that, all types of. There is no love involved there. Just because physical union is there doesn't mean there is love. It says love is separate, physical union is separate. These are two separate things. Don't confuse one for the other, which generally people confuse. So he says tanmano, he says the real thing is mind, where the mind is. Because mind is where you have your emotions. So tanmano mai yunjana achiran mama vapshat. And wherever is your mind fixed, that's where you will reach. That's what you will attain. So Krishna is always speaking about this. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhacha. Therefore at all times you remember me, deliberate think of me and perform your duty. So he says that by fixing your mind on me, without long you will attain me. So that is the essence of bhakti. This is the essence of love, fixity of the mind. Otherwise externally you can make a show, you can bring flowers, you can say 10 times per day, I love you, right? And then you can do so many things. These days people do that. They have affairs with somebody else, they keep on saying, I love you, I love you. So, where is the mind? That is the most important thing. So what you have to study is not where is the body. People try to trace the body, where is he going, where was he? Why did you look that side, why did you look that side, why did you... No, it's not that question. The question is where is the mind? If mind is with you, then it's fine. If mind is not with you, body can be there. People can be sleeping in the same bed and thinking of someone else. Right? So therefore, this is the formula which he is giving. Tanmano mai yunjana achiran mam avapshate. So, fixing your mind on me, you will attain me without long. So this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Manmana bhavamad bhakta madhyaji mam namaskar. So asmin manovanchitam kadapi setsyati na vaiti sasrair apangair yat prichyate tatra uttram shrunute tyaha. So it is as if these ladies, they stood there and then they are thinking, will our wish be ever fulfilled? So then, and they are having tears in their eyes and looking at Krishna from side glances as if they are asking this question to him. Okay, we go back, but will we ever meet you? So then he says, don't worry. So pritaye pritim sampadetum anuragam na sambardhetum ityartha. So he says that love does not increase simply by physical association. But how does it increase? By fixity of the mind. And how is mind fixed? When there is utkantha, when there is eagerness. So he is trying to increase their eagerness. Because Krishna, he is the most expert how to improve, how to increase the love of his devotee for him. So sometimes he gives his association, sometimes he creates separation. So both are to increase the love and take away your attachments, which a devotee wants. Otherwise, what else a devotee wants? So therefore it says, Kintu madviraha utkanthyam eva anuraga atishaya vardhakam. So he says, when does eagerness come? Eagerness comes when there is separation. When you are together, there is not much eagerness. So eagerness happens when there is separation, and that increases the intensity of the love. Anuraga atishaya vardhakam iti bhava. So this is his intention to go. Socially one reason, but spiritually another reason is given. Shravanad, darshanad, dhyanat mai, bhavo anukirtanat, na tatha sannikarshena pratiyate tato graham. So he says that it's by hearing, by seeing, by meditating, by singing, the bhava, the love, the attachment of a person increases to me, and not by being physically. Therefore you go to your homes now. So this is also repeated again and again in Bhāgavatam. Tasmād ekena mansa Bhagavan satvatam pati shrotavya kirtitavyasya dheya pujyasya nityada. Tasmād bharat sarvatma Bhagavan haririshvara shrotavya kirtitavyasya smartavya chapabhayam. So many places. Tasvat sarmatmana Nripa Bhagavan haririshvara shrotavya kirtitavyasya pujya dheyasya nityada. So many places. So this is the process. Hearing is very important. Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya and Kirtan and Dhyan. These three are always Srotavya, Nididhyasita, Mantavya, Nididhyasita. So this is the process for spiritual advancement. So we'll stop here if there is any question on this.
I have a question going back some classes ago. So in the Venu Gita, we had this verse glorifying Govardhan, and I read on your recent article on Jiva.org where you wrote about that Srimati Radhika is mentioned by her Bhava, and you traced some verses where she is identified by commentators, and I know that Raghunath Das Goswami, he wrote one prayer and praise of Govardhan, and there he says that this verse, this Hantayam Adrir, this verse, this Hantayam Adrir Abala Haridasa Varya, that this is spoken by Sri Radhika. And I would be interested which elements of her bhava are expressed there. Do you have any insights on why he said that it was she only who spoke this?
I don't know, unless I read what he is exactly saying. He must be... When he says this, where did you read it?
In this Govardhan Vasana Dashakam?
Yeah, so we have to see the whole sloka. You must give some hint in that. And I don't know which sloka is that. But
should I read it or later?
Yeah, you can read.
I mean, it's Girirnipa Haridasa Shreni Varya iti nama Mridam idam utitam Shri Radhika Mukha Chandrat. Something like this. Where is it? Shri Radhika Vaktra Chandrat Vrajanavathila Katve Klupta Vedai Spurtam Me Nijanikarta Divasam Tehi Govardhanatvam.
So he is only saying that because Govardhan is dedicated. What is that? Vraj?
Girirnipa Haridasa Shreni Varya iti nama. So this is how it's said in the Hantayam Adri Abala. Then Mritham idam uditam. Shri Radhika
No, next third line.
Vraja Navatila Katve Klupta Vedai Spurtam Me.
Yeah, so he is saying he is the best of the Brajanara. It's only because in the sloka of Bhāgavatam it is said that how he is giving Sri Ramakrishna Charana Pramoda. Right? So he is getting, and we know that in the commentators they say that when it is said Ramakrishna, it's Krishna, Ram is added just to camouflage it. But actually it is Krishna. Means Govardhan is getting ecstatic by the touch of the feet of Krishna. So it is understood that it is Radhika who gets the touch of his feet, because others are not that intimate with her. Others serve Radha and they serve from distance, but intimacy is only between Radha and Krishna. So it is said Radha Krishna Charana Pramod, and then he is ecstatic. The grass is like hair standing on the end, and the streams is like the tears. So this is experienced, all the sattvic bhavas in their Suddipta stage manifest in Radha. So from that he is deriving. Okay.
I was reading in part of the purport of the Vilapa Kusmanjali, and Anantadas Babaji was giving some explanation about that, why Raghunath Das Goswami knows that is Radharani itself, because in his Swarupa he or she perceives directly the way that she is glorifying that feats of Krishna and the Govardhan.
Yeah, that is different, but here the question is how to recognize from the words which are stated there. If somebody sees it, that is a different story. But how to study the bhav, and from that understand why it is she and not someone else. Okay. Yes.
This word Sandihan, the Sandihan word is used. You refer to as a husband, so they are Sandihan Patyadayo, so they are their adjectives, and how that is used.
Sandihan means doubt. Where is Sandihan?
Sandeha means doubt. Okay.
Like you have the word Sandeha.
Sandeha has, yes.
Sandeha means doubt.
Okay.
So
So
Sandeha
this is not a compound word then.
Sandeha it comes from Dihi Dhatu, Dihi Upchay, and Sam is the Upsarga.
Okay.
So you get
Okay.
Sandeha. Sandeha is noun and Sandehana is verb.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Babaji Maharaj,
Sanach
if
Pratyay.
it's not too late,
Bola.
if it's not too late, can I please ask a question? Or?
Bola.
But Maharaji, you said I'm trying to understand the contrast between the wives of the Brahmanas and gopis. You mentioned somewhere down Krishna would speak some verses to the gopis. So he is asking them to go back on two contexts, one is socially and spiritually. On the social side, is it because he wants to maintain the social decorum, which is what he said, whereas if he accepts them or lets them stay, then there may be some infamy that will come to them or to him. And this body, I mean, we've also said there is yata avesha tata pravesha, and they are all devotees effectively. This is only to contrast, how great the gopis are. So how does one, from someone who's been an anadi, away from Bhayamukha, with Mahaprabhu's grace, is that how someone would get an appropriate body depending on the bhava that is given to them? How does that work from a devotee standpoint or from a sadhaka standpoint?
It will come. Just wait. Next class. You will show how they attained it. So the same process.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
Maharaj, I had one small doubt regarding this Patnis and Gopis. So there it was given that Pasmat, that our husbands will not accept us, but if they accept us, then that if condition came. So now, when in the 29th chapter this Rāsa-līlā, this thing will be there. So there the gopis will be saying that they are a source of trouble to us, like these husbands and this one. So the Purpaksha can be that they are so frustrated over there with their husbands, etc. They want an escape route or something like that. Whereas these girls are like Brahmatnis, they're being given so much respect, being seated in the yajna, etc. And so they are like on this modern context, someone can put a point like this, that they are being oppressed, like these Gwalas and all are mistreating them, whereas these Brahmanas are very like so how can we understand the subtler point that actually it is a surrender which is being shown by these two contrasts?
Because Krishna said that you go back, and he's told both of them to go back. So one is saying that if you go back, they will not accept us. And the other ones are saying that we have nothing to do with them. Artidai means that we are not interested in doing that. Our life is for you. It's not that they were being tortured or anything like that.
Okay.
Okay.